Justice Gorsuch? Justice Kavanaugh?
A couple questions. First, this is an unusual administrative law situation from my experience because the people who are regulated are not here complaining about the regulation. The hospitals and healthcare organizations, it's a very unusual situation. They, in fact, overwhelmingly appear to support the Secretary's the CMS regulations. So and the government makes something of that. What are we to make of that?
Your Honor, certainly there are large institutional providers that may have no problem with this. Obviously, there are smaller ones, very small community hospitals that do have a problem with that. But here, the states have their facilities. The states
have a very small percentage of the facilities. Most of the facilities are private-run facilities, right? This picks up on Justice Thomas's question, like where are the regulated parties complaining about the regulation? That's how we usually have. The last case is a good example, obviously.
Sure.
There's a missing element here.
Well, they're not certainly these sort of entities that would be subject to this rule, like small private facilities that receive Medicaid funding, certainly are not plaintiffs per se, but the states do represent the citizens of our constituencies, like these places that run these facilities, these small community hospitals. We speak on their behalves. And all I would say here is we have made value judgments through our policies to not require vaccination because a one-size-fits-all requirement does not help. And that kind of policy judgment, as expressed through our laws, are duly enacted laws that would be applicable both to state-run facilities and private facilities. That is what's being preempted here, Your Honor, by this unlawful mandate. And that's how we're speaking in that capacity here, Your Honor, is the folks whose voices were ignored throughout this entire process and shouldn't have been ignored, especially with these devastating consequences.
And then second, I think you've alluded to this, but how is a vaccine different in kind from your perspective from, say, the requirement to wear gloves or the requirement to wash your hands or the other kinds of requirements? Because I think if you acknowledge that there's authority to require the latter, then you need to explain why the vaccine's different.
I don't think I could say it any better than Chief Judge Sutton did at page 12 of his dissent in the OSHA case, which is masks can come off, gloves can come off. A vaccine requirement, the taking of vaccine is a permanent medical procedure that cannot come off after work is over. That is, there are materially different conditions, materially different procedures at stake. And when you look at the context, for example, in the hospital requirement, 1395 XE, nothing in that statute comes close to authorizing this precise mandate in this case, which is going to have devastating consequences for vast swaths of this country, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Justice Barrett?
Questions?
Thank you, counsel.